Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sister Elle here with you for the new moon in Gemini reading. Hooray! Happy birthday, Geminians. Those who've had their birthdays already and those who are forthcoming. I know a special Gemini having their birthday on the day of this new moon on the 3rd of June 2019 at 11:02 a.m. in the morning here in London, England. So happy birthday, quadruple Gemini. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you have a fine time. That's right. So what is Gemini? Gemini is the first of the air signs, the other two being Aquarius and Libra. Gemini is the mutable sign within this time, and the other mutable signs are Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So Gemini, being the first of the air signs, very curious, wants to have a look around, wants to investigate new surroundings, new feelings, new expressions of self, etc. Talking about being curious, I'd like to give my book, Curious Minds, a quick plug. There we are, Curious Minds out there on your net today. That's right, okay. So now we have the sun currently in Gemini, and we'll be having this new moon on the 3rd, as I said. So the sun now is at 9 degrees of Gemini, so it's been in the season of Gemini for 9 days now. So I'm sure we're all being very ambidextrous, very chatty, very communicative with other people, and these forms of communication will be happening for the next few weeks. Okay, so I want to read from my Time Passages app about the sun in Gemini and one or two of the other personal planets as well. So how's it been? Good. You've been finding new expressions of self? I certainly have. Okay, sun in Gemini. The sun is the most visible and important planet of astrology at the level of physical life and symbolically represents ego and will. The sun spends about 30 days in each sign, so the cycle of the 12 signs defines our year. With the sun in Gemini, and especially at the beginning of this period, there is a good sense of the process of communication as the glue of community. The earth is emerging from her winter slumber, and everyone is more joyful and more talkative. Learning is key, and the subject list is unlimited, definitely. The world is filled with wonder, and we all want to know. We all want to know more about it. A curiosity that leads to learning and intelligence. So Gemini can be seen as a very curious sign, always asking questions, always wondering why. Why does this happen? Why is this like this? And so it's very communicative and can find out about the world that surrounds them in this manner. And so we'll all be joining in with this joyous speaking at this time. We currently have the moon in Taurus, giving us a bit of stability before it jumps into the new moon with Gemini. Taurus, very stable sign, so we'll be more looking at our home and our family, our values, and our emotional well-being. Let's have a look at that, shall we? So it says, the moon spends 2.5 days in each sign with the moon in Taurus. You and everyone around you will likely feel a strong need for maintaining the status quo. You are unlikely to ruffle any feathers as your instincts take on a more cautious approach. This is a good time to handle any sort of situation that has been emotionally volatile. That's right, it's a very calm sign, very grounded. Let's see what the actual problem is, and might cause you or others to be closed-minded or resistant to any type of change. Your mood is connected to your physical senses today, and you might seek physical pleasure. You could also be more inclined to domestic routines, etc., etc. Okay, so we also have Mercury in Gemini with this sun and moon, new moon coming in. And so what does Mercury represent? Mercury represents our mind and is a quick-moving planet that spends only 2 or 3 weeks in a sign, unless retrograde. Okay, with Mercury in Gemini, everyone's powers of intellect are improved and the mind tends to be more curious indeed. Since you feel an enhanced need for mental stimulation, This is an excellent time to learn about something new. There may be an inclination to gossip. It also seems natural to juggle various mental activities and multitask. That's right, those of us who've had twins physically know what it is to juggle quite a few tasks at once. You really do have to learn to multitask. And we'll all be doing that at this time. With Mercury and Gemini, we'll be multitasking conversations. And I think this is where conversations can get crossed, and people may see conversations as gossip, or certain conversations might involve something a little bit too personal and somebody finds out. So we have to watch out for these kind of methods at this time with our Sun and Mercury in Gemini. Okay, and we also have Venus in our home sign of Taurus. Venus is our love and our beauty. With Venus in its home sign for money, for you and for everyone, there could be a greater emphasis on obtaining security through material gain. Sensual pleasures become more important, and you might notice a greater appetite for all forms of physical gratification. You could experience jealousy in love matters and be excessive in your level of possessiveness, or for your physical belongings. There will be a heightened appreciation for the arts. That's right, Taurus is our where we want to gratify ourselves, and with Venus being in there, we might be heading towards that. Something to look out for. To over indulgence of the self gratification, and this new moon in Gemini will be opposing Sagittarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is in its home sign. And so that's getting excessive gratification, even though we're in retrograde right now, so we might have slowed down a little bit. We'll be more internal, thinking of more internal, large goals. Okay, we also have Mars in Cancer right now, also at 9 degrees like the Sun. Okay, so Mars is our drive and our passion, but it says here, Mars is the planet of action, energy and motivation, and spends about 7 to 8 weeks in each sign, unless retrograde. Mars in Cancer, for you and for everyone, everybody's energy is focused on domestic and emotional security. There may be a quarrel to resolve with a family member, or a greater urgency to protect loved ones. It's best to avoid becoming hypersensitive. This is an excellent time to do physical work around the home, and this is how you use the planets together. The planet of Mars being in Cancer, like I was saying, Mars is our everyday drive and passion, so it'd be a great time to maybe want to rip up like flooring or anything that needs quite excessive force, and this is a great way to do it instead of maybe snapping at our family. Okay, very good. And then we'll read Jupiter in Sagittarius, because Jupiter is in the opposition to this new moon at this time. So while we'll be having new thoughts with Gemini, because that's what Gemini is. Gemini likes new thoughts, new actions, new environments, and it also rules driving as well. Right, Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance, and spends about 1 year in each sign. With Jupiter in Sagittarius, especially at the beginning of this 1 year period, everyone has an exceptional capacity to attract good fortune through an ability to see the bigger picture. It is a good time to expand on one's horizons. Travel and spiritual pursuits are favoured, as is any higher learning opportunity, while benefits and morals are held to the highest standard. So we have high goals and morals with Sagittarius. So see where that is in your chart and where Jupiter is crossing right now. Okay, so back to the new moon in Gemini, and us finding our mutable selves, our mutable gain at this time, how we were going to change and flex and be the same person at the same time. So it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of lightness, a bit of joyous, and it's an air sign, so it's going to be a lot of our thoughts are going to be changing and expanding. That's right, into goals and areas that we are heading towards. And so it is a new moon, so it's going to be dark. We won't be able to see it in the sky, but we will feel her energy, and she'll be catching up and vibrating with the sun, and they'll be in the same house and at the same degree, which is at 12, right about 12, 13 degrees. Okay, so we know that mutability is the order of the day. Things may change quickly, our thoughts may change quickly, conversations. We'll have a lot of involvement with others. Gemini is a very social sign, very social butterfly. Lots of communication going on in that area of your life. So you can see where it lies in your chart and the personal planets where they lie in your chart and how they will be vibrating at this time. So Geminis, our thought patterns will be having new thoughts and inspirations, new ways of going forward. And with it opposed in Sagittarius, they can be very large thoughts also. And we have to watch out for over-promising maybe, as we think we're so expensive. And we can be multiple people at the same time. So it's a double whammy right there. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards for each of the signs and tell you where the sun will be in which house. And you can use it also for your moon signs and your rising if you find out where these positions are in your charts. Okay, so Gemini, wow, that jumped out quickly. Cultivating prosperity. I'd say this is for all of us, for Gemini. Okay, so let's see, get my googs on. Gemini, so for all of us, cultivating prosperity. The abundance of the universe is pouring into my life. And so that's in all our lives at the time of this Gemini sun and moon and this new moon combination that will be coming. That will be coming and shining the darkness of the moon on us. But we'll be cultivating prosperity, so we can be sowing new seeds and seeing what we want to cultivate when the moon gets full in 6 months' time. Okay, so let's start with Gemini. So Gemini, you have the sun and moon in your first house. So you'll be looking at yourself, ways that you appear to other people, how you want to feel personally. You'll be placing a lot of emphasis on the self at this time, on the both selves, I would say, or the multiple selves even. I did a video on that too. So you can have a look for multiple selves on my Elle Productions and my Academic Gem site. I'm also the Academic Gem on Instagram. But right now, I'm Elle doing the new moon in Gemini. Let's have a card for Gemini. Thank you. Card for Gemini for this new moon in Gemini. Communicating with our feelings. Okay. And yours is embracing the future. Let's have a look with the googs. It says, I step into the future with an open heart. How beautiful, Gemini. There you go. With the sun and moon in your first house. Step right into that new time, that new vibration. That will be with you for the next few weeks. Very good. And we have Cancer. Cancer, you have the 12th house of dreams and intuition. And so you'll be looking at ways that you could merge newness into the vibration of your thoughts and for your dreams for the future. And you have breaking barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. Well done there, Cancer, there in the 12th house for you of dreams and intuition. Expand well, my sweeties. Okay, so after Cancer we have Leo. Leo, you have the 11th house of groups and communication also, I would say. House of Aquarius. So let's see what Leo has for this time of this new moon in Gemini. In the 11th house there. Hey, how's it been? Been finding new ways of expression? It's good, huh? Embarking on an adventure. Okay, googs. What does it say? I savor the wonders of the world. Oh, right, there you go, Leo. Savor those beautiful wonders in your 11th house there for communications. And forward thinking. That's for you there, Leo. Virgo, you have the 10th house, top of the chart, of authority figures, taking your own authority into your hands. And where you give away your authority, you're going to find new ways of holding it together. Okay, and the card for you, Virgo, there at the top of the chart is expecting miracles. Miracles are blossoming in my life. There you go, Virgo, for the 10th house right there. Okay, Libra, you have the ninth house of higher learning, far distance traveling. Let's see what card we have for you, Libra. How's it been, Librites? How's it been? In saying that, I'd like to say thank you to my Libra buddy for my new beautiful teacup. Okay, Libra, let's get going. Okay, card for you. Dwelling in truth. I stand in the light of truth. There you go. With this beautiful new moon of thoughts. That's for you, Libra, in the house of higher learning. Okay, Scorpio, Scorpio. You're in the 8th house. You know this house very well. It is your own house, actually. Okay. And so the 8th house is other people's resources, how you merge other people's resources with your own. Communications, I would say business factors may be coming up right now, and you may be stepping into a newness or a new stage with that business venture there, Scorpio. Okay, and this card will just come out, and it's embarking on an adventure also. I savor the wonders of the world. And that's for you, Scorpio, just like Leo. Be out there savoring. Very good. Sagittarius, you have the 7th house of one-to-one relationships and marriage. Partnerships of all kinds will be getting a new refresh button. Ping. Okay, let's see what card we have for you, Sagittarius. Okay. And it says, making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. There you go, Sagittarius. Indeed, you do rule expansion. That's right. So there may be some expanded things going on there in your 7th house or in your 1st house with the Jupiter also. Be expanding the self. That's for you, Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn, you have the 6th house of work and family matters, everyday things, everyday habits and rulings, and it's renewing your life. And it says, let's have a look. Radiant vitality is filling my life. So you're getting rid of old, and so new things can come in. It's a great time to plant new communications, things that you want to do in the future with this Gemini new moon. And that's for you, Capricorn, there in the 6th house. Aquarius, you have the 5th house of children, joys and pleasures, hobbies, and you are awakening ancient wisdom. Very good. Let's see what your small writing says. And it says, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. So you're going to have a newness there, Aquarius, in your 5th house of joys and pleasures. And some deep awakenings will be happening. And newness, starting freshness. And that's for you, Aquarians, Pisces. Pisces, you have the 4th house of home and family. So there's going to be a newness shining in that area for you. And let's see what you'll be changing, huh? My little mutable Pisces. Okay, oops, okay, card for you. Whoops, let's get that card, shall we? Okay, and your card is making a difference too. My inner light shines far and wide. And there you go, Pisces, in the 4th house. Maybe you'll be making some new ideas, making some new products that will shine far and wide into the world. And I thank my Pisces friends for their beautiful inspiration of expression and creativity. And I'm sure you'll be doing that in your surroundings of the 4th house there, Pisces. Very good. And then we have Aries. Aries, you have the 3rd house of communication, the actual house of Gemini. So you'll be having some new conversations, maybe with your neighbors and friends. Having some friends maybe get together. Okay, that's for you, Aries, in the 3rd house. Whoops. Okay. And your card too is embracing the future. And I step into the future with an open heart. Well done, Aries. Excellent. In the 3rd house, open to new communications, new vibrations. And we'll open that right up there at this time of newness. And for you, Taurus, you have the second house of finances. And what else is values and your values, Taurus? Okay, so you have the second house of money and finances. And the card for you is expecting miracles. Okay, miracles are blossoming in my life. That's for you, Taurians out there. And the second house. Okay. And the card for all of us at this beautiful, beautiful new moon in Gemini. Get your Gemini on. That's right, make a difference, have some change, become flexible in your outlook. This card appears, starting fresh. Wow, you couldn't make it up, right? Okay, let me see. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. And this is what we started with, right? Amazing. Indeed, a wonderful new beginning is emerging within those areas. See where they lie in your chart, in your houses, and how they will be affecting you at this time. Okay, peeps, thank you very much for tuning in to me today, Elle Productions, and you all have a most fantastic, most beautiful new moon in Gemini. And I'll see you soon.